Hello everyone and welcome to Quantum Universum. Today we continue our journey by facing the 11th exercise. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to not miss the upcoming videos on personal growth and spiritual well-being. It was up to Coelho, therefore, to find his sword without the accompaniment of a guide anymore, learning to trust exclusively in his own inner resources and putting into practice the Ram disciplines. The last teaching that Petrus transferred to him on that occasion was the dance exercise to be performed during the next ritual that would take place in the Templar castle of Ponferrada. This castle, once a refugee for the Knights of the Order, became a meeting place for adepts of various orders, each accompanied by a Templar master with whom it was not allowed to speak during the ceremony. Inside the castle, a high priest invoked a spirit called Re-En, initiating the ritual of the dance within a magic circle. In a trance state, Coelho saw images, including a chalice and a pattern, possible clues to identify his sword. During the ritual, an Australian named Andrew underwent a Christian initiation ritual and received his sword of power through prayers and sacred formulas. However, Coelho, at the end of the ritual, still found himself without his sword when the final destination, Santiago de Compostela, was near. Remaining alone and afflicted, the journey seemed to lose its meaning after the experience he had just lived, which had awakened in him an interest in the wisdom of the occult. However, in Villafranca del Bierzo, the encounter with two local inhabitants, including a little girl, led him back to the simplicity of the path of common people, awakening in him a new appreciation for life. Coelho intuited that perhaps in this simplicity lay the secret of his sword, hinted at by Petrus. After a night spent in a small village, he resumed the journey, reflecting on the lesson learned along the way. At a certain point, a sudden illumination revealed to him the secret of his sword. The possession of its power had to be aimed at a practical purpose, and the true secret lay in the use of that power. With a renewed wave of agape, Coelho proceeded with ecstasy along the challenging path. He conversed with nature in its own language, feeling himself an instrument of the Camino de Santiago. Around 3 in the afternoon, he entered Galicia, facing the ascent of Mount Sobrero. Despite the cloudy weather and the thick fog enveloping the landscape, Coelho decided to continue, guided by the feminine intuition that seemed to suggest the way. Now becoming an instrument of the journey, Coelho followed a lamb that approached him. The lamb led him to a village called Sobrero, where a miracle of the conversion of host and wine into the flesh and blood of Christ had once occurred. Here, Coelho found his Brazilian master who guarded his sword. Together they recited a passage from Psalm 91, and the rain began to fall, a living water that would fertilize the earth again. Here's to you the dance exercise. Relax and close your eyes. Try to recall the first melodies you heard in life. Begin to mentally intone them. Gradually, let a part of your body, feet, belly, head, etc., but only one part, start dancing to the rhythm of the melody you are singing. After 5 minutes, interrupt your mental singing and listen to the noises around you. With them, compose music and dance with your whole body. Avoid thinking about anything, just try to remember the images that spontaneously appear to you. Dance is one of the most perfect forms of communication with the infinite intelligence. The duration of the exercise is 15 minutes. The proposed exercise, known as the dance exercise, represents an esoteric ritual aimed at fostering a deep connection with infinite intelligence through the combination of relaxation, music, and body movement. The initial phase of relaxation and closing of the eyes indicates a transition from external to internal reality, a spiritual preparation. The request to recall the first melodies of life symbolizes a return to the innocence of childhood, with the aim of awakening genuine emotions. Subsequently, mentally intoning the melodies and dancing with a specific part of the body aims to connect sound and movement, promoting harmonization between mind and body. The transition to composing music based on the surrounding sounds indicates the perception of music as a universal language and a vehicle for connection with infinite intelligence. Dancing with the whole body, associated with spontaneous images, represents a free and spontaneous expression, facilitating communication with infinite intelligence through the language of movement. The invitation to avoid thoughts and focus on spontaneous images suggests direct access to the unconscious and spiritual dimensions. The symbolic duration of 15 minutes is probably associated with cycles of change and transformation in esoteric traditions. In conclusion, the dance exercise seems designed to offer an experience of communion with infinite intelligence through music, movement, and sensory awareness, in order to foster a deeper connection with the inner self and the divine. I conclude our long journey of the Camino de Santiago with quotes that contain great truths. All that I have taught you, including agape, will make sense only if you are satisfied with yourself. If this does not happen, the exercises you have learned will inevitably lead you to the desire for change. And so that all the practices you have learned do not turn against you, it is necessary to allow a change to occur. The most difficult moment in a man's life is when he sees the good fight and feels capable of changing his life and going to fight. If when it happens, knowledge will turn against whoever possesses it. As always, thank you for being with me on this journey. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know by liking and leaving a comment. See you soon in the next video.